Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. In the movies and a lot of TV shows, you often hear about English people drinking tea. And if they're talking about someone who's posh, they'll say they've been drinking Earl Grey tea. And it's quite surprising how far this stereotype goes. So I thought to myself, Gary, what is Earl Grey tea? The simple answer: it's a tea blend that is flavoured with the oil of bergamot and sometimes the rind of bergamot. Bergamot, or to give it its full name, bergamot orange, is a type of citrus fruit with hints of orange, lemon, grapefruit and lime. It's mainly grown in Calabria in Italy. Traditionally, Earl Grey tea is made using black tea, but nowadays there are also blends out there that are made from green teas, even oolong tea. And you can get very regional varieties. I believe in South Africa there's a version with rooibos tea. Traditionally, Earl Grey tea is served black, although again nowadays people are starting to put milk in it. Personally, I prefer it black. The black tea leaves used to make Earl Grey, well, they're left to dry, and this allows them to undergo a process called oxidation. And this oxidation, it changes the chemical composition of the leaves and it gives them a stronger flavour. If blended with green tea, the oxidation process, that's generally skipped. There are two different methods that are used to infuse the tea with the bergamot flavouring. The first one is to coat the leaves with bergamot oil, and that gives the tea a more citrusy flavour. The second is to add dried out bergamot orange rind to the tea leaves. And this, it lets the citrus flavour infuse into the tea whilst it's brewing, and it does give a milder flavour, but it looks a lot more attractive, doesn't it, when you see it in the tin. When brewing Earl Grey, it's important that you don't let the tea steep for too long, so you're not letting the tea sit in the water. You do this because it can lead to a bitter flavour. Most people, they recommend 2 to 3 minutes, but there are a small number, they may leave it for up to 5 minutes. Now we know what it is, well, the next question, where did it get its name? The earliest reference to tea flavoured with bergamot is from 1824. There was no mention of Earl Grey at that time. It looks like the bergamot, it was used to flavour lower quality tea, and that allowed the merchants to pass it off as higher quality. In 1837, charges were laid against a company accusing it of using bergamot to enhance their tea so they could represent it as being higher quality and then sell it for a higher price. The Earl Grey name, that's thought to come from Charles Grey, who was the second Earl Grey, and he was the British Prime Minister in the 1830s. Given the way bergamot was being used in teas at the time, to make lower quality seem to be higher quality, to be honest, it's unlikely that he would have championed the tea. There are a number of theories that do link the Earl to the tea. One claim, a Chinese mandarin's son was rescued from drowning by one of Earl Grey's men. As a thank you, the mandarin presented the tea to Earl Grey in 1802. There's one big issue with this. Earl Grey, he never visited China. The tale was subsequently updated to add that it was an envoy returning from China who presented it to the Earl on behalf of the mandarin. Another legend, it says the tea was gifted to Earl Grey as a result of the work that he did to end the monopoly on trade between China and the United Kingdom. That monopoly at the time, it was held by the East India Company. The Grey family, they say the tea was blended by a Chinese mandarin to suit the water of Hawick Hall. It's the family seat of the Grey family in Northumberland. They say the bergamot was used to try and offset the large amount of lime that was in the water. They then go on to say that Lady Grey used the tea when she was entertaining in London, and it was such a hit that she was asked if it could be sold to other people. And this is one of the things that led to the founding of the Twinings Company. References have been found in advertisements from the 1850s and 1860s advertising Grey's tea or Grey's mixture. The earliest of these, they've been attributed to William Grey in 1852, and he's not in any way related to the Earl Greys. The first known advertisements for Earl Grey, they're from the 1880s. It's been suggested that the phrase Earl was added to this to make the tea seem more posh. An alternative is that the name could have been inspired by Henry Grey. He was the third Earl Grey, and he was alive at the time. He was alive in the 1880s. In 2010, a survey found that a significant number of people associated Earl Grey tea with posh people or middle-class people. The name Earl Grey tea, it's not copyrighted, so many companies, they can create and sell their own versions of the tea. And as such, there's no standard for what makes an Earl Grey tea other than its tea and bergamot. There has been some research into the potential health benefits of drinking Earl Grey tea, but to be honest, they've all found inconclusive results. This is partly driven by black tea containing polyphenols and caffeine. These are thought to have cardiovascular, digestive and cancer preventative benefits. The bergamot oil, it's thought to have cholesterol lowering and analgesic benefits. As I said, all this research, it's been inconclusive. Drinking too much Earl Grey tea, well, that can cause issues with potassium absorption. Low potassium, it can lead to cramping and muscle twitching. One person was drinking 4 litres of Earl Grey tea a day. And I can't even imagine how I could drink that much. I mean, I do struggle some days to drink 2 litres. This was leading them to have a lot of muscle cramps. They reduced their consumption down to 1 litre a day, and it meant that these symptoms, they subsided. I hope you've enjoyed today's exploration of where we get the term for Earl Grey tea. Now, I do drink Earl Grey tea occasionally, but I will be honest, I prefer other flavoured teas. Today, I've got peppermint tea in my Mandalorian mug. What are your thoughts about Earl Grey tea? Is it something you drink? Is it something you've always wanted to try but never did? I think I was about 30 when I first had Earl Grey tea. I'd seen it when I was young and I kept thinking to myself, like the survey thought, that's just for posh people. Please drop your comments, drop your thoughts down below. Let's kickstart a conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.